Barberton residents, this is Mayor William Judge coming to you to talk to you a little bit about this November's ballot issues. This is a very important election cycle as we are deciding the President of the United States. There are congressional races, there are county races, and there are some local levies that are on the ballot. So it's a very intense ballot this November, and I know voting has already started. But I wanted to kind of go through some of the City of Barberton ballot initiatives and kind of explain some of them. So currently, aside from the election races that are going on, the 5 issues that are affecting the City of Barberton. The first one is Issue 8. Issue 8 is a proposal to change our charter. This proposal is to change the election cycle for the primary election. As it stands now, the primary for the election cycle in Barberton is in September, with the general election in November. Changing this ballot, our charter, through this ballot initiative, Issue 8, it would change the primary election from September to May. This would be the first Tuesday after the first Monday in May. And this would be consistent with a lot of other communities throughout Summit County. Issue 9 is the next issue. I'd like to come back to that because that's a little more involved. Issue 10 is another charter amendment for the City of Barberton, changing the Barberton City Charter. This issue, Issue 10, eliminates the division of engineering within the charter. And it's important to understand that if this passes, we will still have a job opening for an engineer. This just does not require us, per the charter, to have a division of engineering. As mayor for the last 9 years and previous mayors, we have taken the appropriate steps to try to fill that vacant position of a city engineer. But unfortunately, when we've interviewed candidates, they either did not meet the qualifications set forth in the charter, or they did not accept the position because of the low pay of that position. The engineers, the candidates for that position for engineering that I interviewed always made at least double what the city paid. So if we take this out of the city charter, we will still have the position. We can still go out and interview candidates and try to fill the position, but we're not bound by the charter to have that division. So it's not doing away with the department. It's not doing away with any services. It's just taking it out of the charter. The next issue, Issue 11, is another charter amendment for the City of Barberton's charter. This would eliminate the Board of Health. So in our charter, it states that we have a Board of Health, which we currently do. Several years ago, about 11 years ago, the City of Barberton merged our health department with Summit County's health department. So we don't have a health department in the City of Barberton. We contract with Summit County's health department. But per the charter, we still should have a Board of Health. And we do have a Board of Health. And we meet on a monthly basis. We act more as a body that makes recommendations to City Council. And so I think it's very important that we still have a Board of Health, but this initiative would take it out of the charter. As mayor, if this does pass, I plan on continuing with a Board of Health. So even though if it is approved to take it out of the charter, I can still create a Board of Health. I think it's important that we have a conduit, a body of residents that is a conduit between the Summit County Board of Health and our public and our City Council. So I think it's still very important to have this. So if this does pass and it does come out of the charter, I will continue to have a Board of Health here in the City of Barberton. The Board of Health is made up of volunteers from the public. They are not paid. The Board of Health does not have a budget. They do not make legislation or pass legislation. They make recommendations. So it's very important to understand that. The next issue, Issue 12, is another charter amendment here in the City of Barberton. This would require the mayor to appoint a charter review commission by March 1st every 5 years. So currently, The mayor appoints a charter review commission every 5 years to come up and review the charter and make recommendations to city council. And that's where these have originated. This would force the mayor by a certain date, March 1st, to have that committee already selected and put together. And I think it's important that when we find ourselves in times like this year, where we have a pandemic come out, and a lot of things get kind of off to the side, that it's important that there are time frames that we can get things in a process that we can follow. So that is issue 12, another charter amendment affecting the City of Barberton's charter for setting a date, March 1st, for the mayor to appoint a charter review commission every 5 years. Now going back to issue 9, this is a proposed tax levy. This is an additional tax on property in Barberton to help operations in the City of Barberton. So I first want to say that myself as mayor and city council, no one wants to tax our residents more. But we are committed to providing the quality of service to our residents that you deserve and that is expected. We know that Babcox and Wilcox moved from Barberton to Akron. We know that they pulled out about $1.3 million in income taxes from our budget when they went to Akron. That's money that we can use or have used to provide services to you, the residents. So $1.3 million out of our budget is a major hit to our budget and really affects the ability of us to make or provide services to our residents. We also know that with the pandemic and COVID, that has affected our income tax budget. Some businesses have closed down for a period of time. Some businesses have reduced staffing for a period of time, and that all affects our income taxes. We are still gauging and receiving information and data on how much that has affected our bottom line. So working with City Council, we came up with a property tax levy. Again, this is issue 9. Myself and City Council are committed for this tax levy, if it passes, to only be for 3 years, and then it will expire and go away. We are asking for 3 mills for 3 years. So let me explain that a little bit. When you look up your tax bill on the county's website, county fiscal office, there'll be an appraised value of the property and a taxable value of the property. If you take the taxable value of the property and you multiply that times 30%, and then you take that number and you multiply it by 0.003, you'll come out with a dollar figure. And that is the increase in your property taxes if this passes for the next 3 years. Now, it is important to note that property taxes are a year in arrears. So if this passes in November, you will not pay in February. So using a taxable value of $84,810 times 30% times 0.003, that comes up to $76.33. So if a property is valued or taxed at $84,810, the taxable value, that property owner will pay $76.33 more per year on their property taxes for 3 years. So that's $38.17 per half. I realize that, and council realizes that there's people that are hurting, people that are out of work, people that $76 and that property amount's going to change, but that's a lot of money to some people, and that we are all trying to work to provide the same services and quality of service to our residents. So we're asking for a little bit of help for the next 3 years to continue our city services to the citizens of Barberton. So I encourage you to get on the fiscal officer's website, look up your property, either by your last name, the parcel number, or by address, and you can see the appraised value and the taxable value. Use the taxable value in the calculation. If you have questions or would like us to run that calculation, feel free to reach out to me. Some of the things that we've done internally over the years to cut costs include non-bargaining employees forego 2% pay raises for several years. In 2019 alone, that saved the city budget $34,000. Elected officials, the mayor, law director, and finance director, including city council, did not take a pay increase for the next cycle. So 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, those elected officials, there's zero pay increase. We have internally combined departments to help create more efficiencies and job sharing responsibilities. Now that's more of an efficiency measure, but there is some cost savings in terms of productivity. We have not had seasonal employees during the summertime or fall time with leaves or cutting grass for the last 2 years, and that has saved about $51,000 a year. That's a very important program, and we've seen the condition of our parks not getting cut as frequently as they used to, but that's one of the measures that we instituted. We did, so when I started mayor, I was able to build our reserve fund, emergency reserve fund, from $200,000 approximately, over $800,000. But to make use of that money and not cut city services, we used that money over the last few years. So we went from over $800,000 and currently we're about $63,000 in the emergency reserve fund. So that's another measure we took that did not affect city services, and that's what the money was used for, to make sure city services were there. We did, several years ago, work with the city of Norton, Copley Township, to create a joint dispatch center. This really contained a cost, and so the cost for a dispatch center with employees, with technology, and with services did not increase. So we worked with Norton and Copley to create this joint dispatch center. Earlier this year, Springfield Township joined in the dispatch center as well, which really lowered the cost for all communities and will continue to contain the cost, so no cost increase for that service. Actually, the communities of Barberton, Norton, and Copley Township several years ago won the Taxpayer Hero Award from the auditor at the time, Dave Yost. So really making best use of these communities working together, making best use of citizens' tax dollars to provide a service. We've had some hiring freezes throughout the city. We had to lift that hiring freeze because we had a lot of retirements and things of that nature, so we had to hire to replace some employees, but we currently still are short-staffed, but the main function of our job is to provide a service to you. So we're doing that the best way we can. We're falling short because of the loss of Babcock's and Wilcox on the income tax side, and also the realities of COVID hitting our local economy on the income tax side. So we're asking for 3 mills for 3 years. It's issue 9. If you have any questions on issue 9 and how that may affect you personally with your property, please contact me at 330-848-6719 or email me at mayor@cityofbarberton.com. Also tomorrow, Saturday, I will have open office hours at 500 West Hoppekin. It's the Active Adult Center attached to the YMCA from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Please feel free to stop in and ask any questions that you may have. We will abide by all mandates and rules in terms of social distancing, wearing masks. We'll have sanitizer there. We'll have a thermometer there. You'll enter through the main door and exit through the patio door, which is on the north end of the building. So there's a lot to think about, I just want voters to get educated on all the issues. So there's a lot going on, and I ask that you, if you have questions, you contact us and get as educated as possible before you vote, because it's very important that you know all the facts to make the best decision. Again, thank you for your time. This is Mayor William Judge providing you information on the issues that will be affecting the city of Barberton and our ability to provide services to you, the residents. Thank you.